guys, Katy Huller here with kidscanreadandwrite.com. And today I want to talk about how to help kids spell words with quiet blends. Now, the quiet blends, what are they? They're letters that are working together to make kind of a blended sound, and a quiet blend is what I call the letter that's harder to hear. So usually there's one letter that's a little harder for kids, especially those with auditory processing issues, to hear when they're sounding out words. And so what you'll see a lot of times, if they're writing a word like bent, you'll see them write and they'll write it like that. They don't hear that in there. Bent. So they go bent. But they don't hear the N, they just hear the T. Or if they're writing long, they might write long. And you'll see them end up with something like that. So a lot of times when beginning writers are sounding out words, they're doing everything right, they're sounding them out, but they're just not quite hearing that last sound. There are ways you can help them learn to hear it, and that's what you need to be doing. So if you have a struggling speller, somebody who's just starting out, and you notice whenever they're writing a word, they're tending to miss those quiet blends. This is what you want to do to help them. So if you're sounding out words for them, and it's the word bent, okay, and they're sounding it out, and you notice that they write and they kind of say that bent, but they just put the T. The first thing I want you to do is help them read what they wrote. Instead of going, no, that's not right, I want you to say, oh, let's see what you spelled. Because the first thing is, if you're saying no all the time, no, that's not right, you're showing agitation even if you don't mean to. Like, you're trying to be super patient and kind and all that, but you're probably going to feel frustrated when they're missing letters a lot, and that's normal, but I don't want you to sound frustrated. So I want you to remember to have fun with your child and treat this like when they were learning to walk, to pull up, right? You didn't get mad or agitated when they fell down. You just laughed and said, oh, here, let me help you back up, right? When they're falling down, writing words, I want you to help them in the same way. Just kind of, make light of it, have fun with them, and go, oh, let's see what you wrote. You're super close, right? You want to encourage them. You're super close. You've almost got it. But let's see what you wrote. You wrote, and point to the letters as you make the sounds. Bet. That's bet, like I bet you can't spell the word bent. And just help them start again. So let's see, how would you change bet into bent? Do you see how I pointed there? Bent. And then I pointed there. You want to help them locate where that sound goes and what's missing. So they go, oh, I need an N. Bent. And they fix it like that. Now, let's say they put it somewhere else. Let's say they heard the N and they just add it to the end there. Then you say, oh, you've got the right letter, but let's see what you wrote this time. Bet, betten. That doesn't quite say bent yet. Let's see if you can spell bent. Do you see where it goes? And help them sound it out until they can get it in the right place. If they put it somewhere else, just keep sounding it out until they can see, oh, I need it to go bent. Like that, bent. Okay, so let's try another. Let's say you're calling out the word long, long. And if you need words to call out, if you need help coming up with the right words to be calling out, the right words for your child to be reading, and you need a systematic, explicit approach to doing this, go to the www.kidscanreadandwrite.com site or the www.kidscanonlineacademy.com site. And then you can get the Black Belt Reading Program. And that goes through everything from CVC words, really from letters and sounds, all the way through all the tricks your kids need to know to read and write really well. And I've got videos on everything, how to read words, how to write words, all of it. It's all included. So it is a purchase program, like you do need to buy it, but it's a really great one. It goes through everything. It has all the worksheets you need to practice, has all the videos you need to watch, and you just go through it step by step, and you'll watch your child learn to read and write if you go through it sequentially and help your child learn each skill along the way. So let's do another. Long. So when I write the word long, I call out long. What you'll probably see a beginning writer do is go la, ah, ng. They hear the gut. Do you hear how this one kind of gets swallowed? Long. You can barely hear it. So when you're helping your child, you say, oh, you got so close. Look what you wrote. La, og. Remember, we're blending these together. We're dragging vowels into the next sound. We're gluing them together. That's what helps us put the word together. La, og. I don't want to go la, ah, g. I want to go la, og. Log. That's going to help the blending technique. So, but I don't want the word log, right? I want long. So you have to really emphasize when they're missing it, you have to emphasize the sound. So let's say it's here, you go, you're so close. You just need it to say la-ong, la-ong, long. And then hopefully they're going to say, oh, I need an N there, and put it in. But again, if they just stick it at the end or something, go, oh, you have la-og-n, log-n. Now, we want it to say la-ong. What would go after your ah? Listen again. Long. And kind of hold that so they can hear it, because it's so short and so quiet that a lot of times kids just don't hear it. So we want to make sure they hear it and get it in there. And then also when they're making their ends, just like my line kind of crept up, you can tell them, start with the short line, climb up, 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 and make your rainbow, right? And that's going to help give them that little tiny stub without it being an H, right? Don't let them turn it into an H. So when they're writing, make sure you're telling them how to make those ends. Short line, climb up, 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 and then come around into the rainbow. So that can really help if your child's struggling to write ends, if they're backwards, or if that line, if they're adding that line at the end. I see a lot of kids who want that little stub, so they just add a line at the end, but then it makes it more like an H. So draw the line, climb up, 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 up to the top, make a rainbow. Perfect end. All right, let's see about melt. So what are they going to write? Most likely, if they're not hearing that quiet blend, when they sound it out, they're going to go melt, and they hear the t. And it's funny because they'll say the O, but they don't write it. So you have to help them hear. Oh, you have et, right? And have them sound it out. I'm sounding it out for you now because I don't have a child with me. But I would ask them, oh, what did you write? Let's see, sound it out. M-et. Now you're giving them reading practice as well as spelling practice, which is super valuable. It's helping them map out words and see why they say what they say. A lot of times if you do it for them, they don't really learn because they tune out, don't pay attention, don't know what's going on, whatever. But if you make them do it and you just help them sound it out, well, that helps a lot more. So remember, teaching kids to read requires a lot of patience and kindness and perseverance sometimes. So hang in there. So we want hold that sound until they hear it. Okay, I'm being a little obnoxious with it, but that's what they need a lot of times until they hear it and put it down there. Melt. And then have them read it and see what it says. And when they get it right, you know, it's really exciting. So give them a high five, you know, tell them good job, celebrate. All right, one more. Let's do one more together. So let's say you're calling out the word jump. Jump. How do you think they're going to spell it? Well, they start sounding it out. Jump. A lot of times they don't hear that N. That's the quiet blend. They'll write up, jump. So you have to help them hear the word. It's not up, it's jump. Now remember, it's really important that you're having them point to these letters and sound it out so they can see what they wrote. You wrote up, jump. We want it to say jump. That's what's going to help them see where it's missing and why it's missing. So you don't want to just say, no, it's not jump. They don't know what jump is, right? They don't know this says jump until they sound it out. Up. So you have to say, oh, you're very close. What did you write? And have them go up. And then you can say, oh, well, how would you fix that? How would you make that say jump, right? And emphasize it until they can fix it. Now, like I said before, if you need a list of words that you can write, if you're having trouble just knowing what words to call out and how to help them, Black Belt Reading has all the sheets you need to practice with your child. It has words to read in isolation, sentences to read, words to spell in isolation, sentences to dictate to your child to spell. It has comprehension activities, fill in the blank activities, just matching, games, has everything you need to go over these skills one at a time so it's not overwhelming, especially if your child has auditory processing or, you know, some kind of issue, learning issue, visual processing, might be with memory, might be dyslexia, right? It could be all sorts of problems, but this is the kind of thing you want to practice with your child if they're struggling, and you need to be patient. So don't forget to pack a lot of patience as you go to work with your kids. So remember, if you're seeing your child leaving out that quiet blend, remember a blend is where you can still hear the sound, but you're blending it together. You're not changing the sound. It's not the same as a trick like CH, SH, TH, ER. Those make one sound, a new sound, than the letters that make them up. But these are blends because you can still hear the right? You hear both sounds still. You hear both sounds still. Olt. You hear both sounds still. But you have to blend them together. So if your child's struggling with those blends, look up Black Belt Reading. You can start from the beginning and just work your way through and watch your child become a reader and writer. If you have any other questions, if you're having other issues that you want help with, drop it in the comments. Let me know. I would love to help you with anything I can. So hope to hear from you soon. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it helps. Go practice with your child. Start with these words. See how they do, and you'll know pretty quickly if they can hear those quiet blends or not. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.